Welcome to Argue Bros, the podcast that gives you multiple perspectives on today's hottest topics. Hosted by Nico Penguin, Fred in Progress, and Jess Freeman. If you're looking for some inspiration from and for normal people, or simply want to know the bros a little more, you better open up your mind to the fresh perspective that's coming your way right now.
And welcome to the next episode of Argue Bros, where you have Nico Penguin, Jess Freeman, and Fred in Progress ready to talk about a whole bunch of stuff. Today we have the abortion because this is going crazy. Roe V Wade got overturned. How do you guys think or feel about that?
Man, I was telling y'all earlier, we about to have the new railway system called that abortion train underground. You feel me? I'll be traversing some states. Depending on what's this. I would think in a state, what a state could do, honestly, they could become the abortion state, the abortion capital state.
Ooh.
Just like make even more pro-abortion laws, and even like have travel expenses for people traveling to get the abortion and everything. Just to rate, all states want some more taxes. You know what I mean? So might as well have some more foot traffic for abortion. Just like they had more. Just like when Colorado won the biggest states for weed, they had a lot more foot traffic for weed.
Wait, so you think like states like California that protect women's rights and will fight tooth and nail, even going up to the Supreme Court, are going to try to become the state to get the access or the Harriet Tubman service?
Let me make sure we're on the same page here. I don't think the states care that much, like politics wise, about women's rights. More so the money they can make by being the opposite of the red states.
Oh, so you think that they're just going to do it for the opposite?
Yeah, the monetary gain of being the top abortion state.
I mean, but what do the Republican states that say you can't do that here? Because they're just going to lose the opportunity to make money via taxes, no?
Or no, because it cares about who lives in their vicinity, what's important to their people. Their people care about not having abortion, because there's a lot of Christians and a lot of white patriarchy kind of bullshit over there, family orientation of all that kind of stuff over there in their red states and the southern beliefs and stuff like that. So that benefits them and their people. So they'll make more money by getting what the people of their party want. It's about identity politics and everything about. It's more about what your people want in theory.
Oh, so it's those morals that are pretty much at risk, and that's why they're voting that.
Yeah, just like the NRA or paying a politician is like, yo, don't make any bad laws against guns, versus a one that's against a politician that's against guns will make laws against it. So it's pretty much the same thing. It's just who's paying you the money, honestly, and who's supporting you.
But then if you don't agree with how this is being ran, like, would you go to a different country that does accept abortions?
No, you got to go to a different state, and then or if you don't, you can do the hard route, which is trying to outvote the people in your state who actually believe in it. And it has to start from like the county level up to the state level, all that. Because now it's in the state's hands who can choose what abortion is allowed and what's not allowed. So it's more state politics than it is federal politics at this point. But it's crazy that Supreme Court just be on there for their entire life. I mean, you got to kill them just to change which ones are on there. And they're saying like there's no term limits or anything.
No term, no age limits, no nothing.
Now they're spinning around. What's real, what there is the court's ruling versus what's political. There will be apolitical, not have any basis in politics, but they're bringing religion and stuff into it as well.
I think it's kind of weird for guys to make that kind of a decision over a female's body.
I think it's weird for anybody to make a decision over anybody's body, but because it wasn't theoretically in the Constitution, is what a lot of people are saying. It wasn't in the Constitution as a freedom right, or one of our rights, that is not them taking away freedom. I mean, isn't that not technically freedom? It doesn't have to be in the Constitution, but I guess they want to play by words. They want to play by the legal legalities of it.
But isn't it more so that if it's allowed, there has to be facilities that do that? So you have to have like permits and you have to pay people and all that stuff. And a lot of the people are saying like, what if, and they insert the worst case scenario possible, or they insert like the actual worst case scenarios that are happening. And this is why we need this facility there. But then it's like, who is going to pay for that facility? Is it going to be the state, or is it going to be private people? Like, how does that even come about? It could
easily have been commercialized if they wanted to be commercialized. They just don't want it to happen at all, because fetuses are living human beings, if you didn't know. Like they're alive, fam. They're alive apparently. So
I mean, I skipped biology class, so I don't know.
And we got to fight for, man. It's fanaticism, man. You could tell them, if you, with the most propaganda, be like, yo, this rock right here, fam, it's alive. We gotta defend it. We gotta put laws against it, man. All you need is enough propaganda and have enough news channel that you pay for.
What if this is all part of the biggest conspiracy about like how people take babies and you know put them all in their blood and faces and whatever to make them younger. You know that Hollywood theory.
Ooh, they could be looking like like a blood O negative or something like that, like the best blood for everybody or something like that that they all get. They may need more of them because they're a low population, so they need more people to come to life. That is a possibility.
Or what if they just doing that shit to make more people go to specific states so that more children count can go more children count can go mysteriously missing or disappearing or dying from BS.
Or from the hospital.
Exactly. Just so that some other company can come collect the babies and do God knows what with them.
Yeah, because they be using the abortion babies for research and all that kind of stuff as well, and whatever else they be selling them for. But now there's a lot more people dying and a lot more people having babies that aren't going to live, but they have to have them anyway to term. That means the more full-grown babies that die in the body of a woman is with that they can get away with it and stuff.
Nah, because it's interesting because when you think about it, that kind of a situation enhances the ability for the organ donors to have more access to a greater variety. Like I'd even think about that thing regarding the blood that you mentioned, Fred, because now I'm thinking, at what point does a child or fetus develop its own blood? Is it like after it's born that it has its own blood, or is it at a specific point? Because I don't really know when is it considered a human, or when it's like I have no idea. And so to say like at any point in time it should be
Ah, man,
like
that would be
taken.
nice if more people said that. I have no idea until they just vote and celebrate when one side loses.
And because then you're basing your whole identity regarding like these set principles that it's like I don't know what is the right or wrong answer, and then people are just like blatantly like saying like, well, you're the devil if you believe this.
Yeah, and it's like you said too, bro. These old people born in 1940, mostly men, only one woman, one black guy, and all of these people are born before 1980s. Made a decision on how people are living today and how people will handle their situations every day, and it's just ridiculous.
I mean, what is the proper solution though?
Proper solution is it can't be done at this time because one, there should be term limits on all political parties, rulings, plus for Supreme Court as well. There should be term limits. You can't just have somebody sit on there for that long with that much power to make all those kind of decisions for that period of time.
Yeah, but there's a point they sit there for that long so that the politicians can butter them up so that something happens within the if it goes to the Supreme Court, anything looks good on their end.
The entire system is rigged. You'd have to revamp the entire system at this point.
Ain't no revamping, bro. You can't build on an infrastructure that is broken.
Not to mention, critical thinking has been removed from American society for the most part, from our school systems all the way up. Critical thinking is not even a thing, and then plus the people who do critically think are either going to be attacked from one side or the other because it disagrees with their entire viewpoint and their identity of what they're supposed to believe, whether it be Democratic or Republican, red or blue. So like, it doesn't really to change things, you need critical thinking, which most people don't have. And plus all the propaganda, Facebook, tech companies, TVs, online, news stations, everything is geared towards one side or the other, and not no critical thinking as to what do I believe in, what is wrong, what is right, what is even though it goes against my party lines and who I identify as, or none of that anymore. It's hard. You can't change the government or change the country without changing the people first. And people are pretty stuck on who they are.
I mean, the only way you can do that is if there was an accidental recession that just coincided with like
Or you
everything
get,
that
or
was
that's
going.
like, nah, that's like shaking crabs in a barrel. What you mean? Everyone's gonna go crazier. Talking about change, everybody gonna get crazier, right? Less money, more gas prices, everything else, less food.
More mouths to feed.
Not just the recession, the inflation at the same time to rent to freaking just everything, bro. You just it's going wild, man.
Yeah, you bring up a valid point because with inflation now, the same $10 at the beginning of the year is like worth like $9 now. And so when you're getting paid, you're earning less, but the prices are rising. So you got to pay more money, and you're getting paid less money. And then now you have to, if in case an emergency occurs like that, you have to keep a child.
Man, we about to have more bodies, less money out here, huh? Man, hey, that's why a lot of people like them red states that are voting to ban abortion better be raising their support systems for family assistance and everything else. Of course not, bro. Everyone gonna starve. Everyone gonna starve, man. All we need get some more of them cheese and bread out there to the people, man. We need more cheese cubes and bread, bro. Deliver doorsteps.
Do you think that this is America's response to like China needing more people and upping the one child policy to 2 children?
No, I think China has more control over their civilization than America does. So I think they do it for different reasons. Still, people are trying to figure out what the real reason as to why this is, besides just removing abortion and being like the Republicans thinking.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't that be an
Or
underlying?
I think there's something else going on more than that than just like the choice. There's definitely some other greater agenda going on that benefits the country and the backside than what we know. Because they're not. They can't just be. It the people who support it probably don't even fully understand it. They just understand that babies are alive, fetuses are alive, and they don't want them to die, and that's what they played on. A bunch of other things. Plus people. There's a lot of people, if you really look into it, who would just vote for it just because, or happy for it just because they are against Democrats and leftists and rightists. There's the people who vote for things not even understanding the full ramifications of what they vote for just because it's against whatever their party lines are, and they hate those people on the other side. It's stupid. It's stupid. It's stupid in itself.
Yeah, because it just makes me think that this could be America's way of trying to push for people to have children. Just like China recognizes that if they don't have people having children, they're going to decline. Yeah, they might be the number one country now, but in a couple of years, they won't be the number one country because all their citizens are pretty much on a decline. Because think about it, why would they randomly have a discussion about something that was already set in stone like 50 years ago? Because I was thinking, is that
For
possible?
a good amount of time now, for just to get all the Supreme Justices that they have on there that have the same viewpoints, it's been a long road to achieve that. So there's been a lot of planning, and they wouldn't plan all this just for this small outcome. There got to be something greater on the long term list of what they're trying to achieve. I don't know. They're definitely. I don't know. Even from this, even this change itself, they're going to be the difference between the rich and the poor is just going to constantly increase even more so now.
Yeah, because this recession is going to come not so good.
Man, I just know that human bodies were products. We are products, simple as that. And the more socials that the U.S. government can create is the less of a debt we'll have to China. So hell yeah, they're pushing. Yeah, have more sex, have more families, or be single and you're a mother. You can rock this. Or you're a guy, man. You should have 10 kids. Look at Future. Look at da da da. They doing
Oh.
a thing. But all
Man,
that is gonna do is just create more product, hence human, for the world can labor and have less money indebted to China.
So it's like the big brother, like with more heads, it's easier to pay off the debt because there's more people hopefully being productive that are
Not
hopefully
even being
making.
productive, just being made.
What do you
Because
mean? Like, how
once,
do they make money
because
like that?
because you don't know, once the social is printed, once that body is made, that's already like a couple millions or a couple 100,000.
But like on an insurance policy, or like, what do you mean?
Not insurance policy. You don't know how, when even if you don't have insurance, you do not notice that people get SSI because some people die
Mm-hmm.
at an early age and their relative or whatever, like daughter, kids, wife, husband, have received their social security income because that's, like you said, if they work 2 years, whatever, that's what they work. So their income or whatever, they already work that, so they can receive.
But what about like a newborn? How do they have money that China or another country benefits off of?
Oh no, they don't. No. They don't have the money for a newborn and people that are not working already. It's just more like
Because you
a.
said once they're born and the product is made, they're taking the money. Like they already made money. So how do they make money off of a social security and a new body?
Oh man, because the fucking. Let me Google this shit. Because
I'm trying to figure out how do they make money off of that? Because that would be ingenious. Creating money off of like just creating children. Like, come on now. Everybody would be like trying to figure out how to make 5 or 6 kids. Come on now. That would increase how many kids I'd want to have.
bro, why do you think the government gives so much assistance
the
to
only
people
thing I
that
can think
have
of to
more
understand what
kids?
he's talking about is a lot of taxes and stuff they can get off them in the first place in general. More people will have more taxes to be paid. But you know who's more important, more happy with you're talking about products that brought me a great idea. I was like, yo, there's two people who are happy with the abortion laws being what it is now. They're just like, yo, the human traffickers are like, yo, along with their right side, they're like, we about to have so much more bodies not being taken care of and watched because they were unwanted. They about to have a sale, man. They gonna have a fire sale, make it easier to capture people. And besides, I'm talking about besides the Republicans.
Oh, the Republicans and the human traffickers.
Yeah, they celebrating together.
I mean, it could honestly be the same party.
I mean, I wouldn't be
They could
surprised.
be on the same side.
I wouldn't be surprised. Just like I'm not surprised how different the reaction is at the government for protecting the buildings and stuff like that, with all the police response they have out there in Washington and protecting Supreme Court justice and everything like that, versus like January 6th. It's crazy. It's like, damn, man. You only had like a couple police officers with some batons out there. Now you got a whole militarized unit out there protecting versus y'all had
I
insurrectionists.
mean, they had more protection when the Black Lives Matter peaceful protest was going on.
How do you like it so far? Don't forget to reach out via social media and suggest the next hot topics to argue about.
Because they thought that that's what was going to happen. They literally had a whole they had like 20,000 National Guards and a whole bunch of other people protecting the Capitol when the BLM was marching through Washington, nowhere near the Capitol. Versus the January 6th, they literally said we're gonna storm the Capitol. We're gonna enter the White
how
House.
far are we? I want. Hey, anybody listening, take a guess in your head too. How far is America from civil war? Like, how far are we from having good old civil war between the right and the blues, the red versus blue, like the Halo cartoon show? Like, how far are we? How far are we from that? How far are we from voting? Doesn't matter anymore. Especially with a recession, with a recession coming. No, I'm talking about where people have to fight for it now. Where people haven't lost faith in the election just yet.
Yes, they have, bro. Within the last 2 or 3 elections, there's already been scandals of.
Not the majority. That's what the majority. That's why it still says you got to vote in your states. You got to vote in your for your state laws now instead. And you have to vote blue versus vote black. People still believe in voting, that they can vote the people in that they want to. Once they lose that belief, then you'll see violence instead.
So the Trump thing was close to violence, you think?
That wasn't close to violence. That was just teetering on the edge of crisis. And that's why you saw so many Democrats come out and vote, and they had some more numbers of voting because people still believed and they understood they could change something with the voting system. Once the belief in vote is over, then it changes. Like this Supreme Court thing is something you couldn't vote to change. You had no power over that. And so that's what I'm saying. Things like that is going to be what spurs over the edge of people believing in the system of government.
So you think every new Supreme Court case that's controversial like that is just gonna teeter on?
Yeah, teeter on and exponentially increase that. Correct. Just as they were talking about how he was talking about how going over cases like cover like gay rights and stuff like that as well. Some other things sounded very
Oh, because this is the Supreme Court to take it all down?
I see a civil war, but I just can't see a civil war because there's no clear individual side. There's no black versus white. There's no left versus
the
blue.
right versus the blue, the alt right versus the extreme left.
But the blue don't have guns, so how is that a civil war?
And what is an extreme
It would just
left?
be like a massacre.
We live in a world of confusion right now that you have to define everything.
More political violence and political violence. We'll change it to that.
Okay, then that's different. People would have to have like BML stickers, like, "Oh, okay, you're my people."
Like that now. Already got a bunch of militia and everything like that going on. Always
yeah, they already have that.
Little tiki torch bitch ass niggas.
Antifa.
And then we got and then we got what does the left have? Left had a bunch of stuff too.
Is that not QAnon? Is that not the left?
Yeah.
No, that's the right.
That's right.
QAnon's on the right. The left is peaceful. Like they want to ban guns.
Not peaceful. Let's be is erratic as well. I just don't know what.
No, I mean like they don't like guns. They want to ban the Second Amendment for that reason. They've been continuously pushing for that. They want the only people to have access to guns are to be government officials.
That is so stupid.
Yeah, bro. That's why a lot of the NRA and stuff they're pushing
I don't agree
heavily
with either side fully, but I agree with some points of each side in minimalist. That's what critical thinking does. Let you elaborate and think on each one. I'm not about to give up my own protection against the government. Like what?
That's what a lot of people are saying. That's kind of hypocritical.
But you don't have to buy a gun. You could literally buy machines on Amazon and print out gun pieces, and build it at home, bro.
Hold on. Don't be giving out ideas now.
Bro, that's what these young niggas are doing.
Because Argue Bros
go
has
to
a
Canada,
lot of engineers.
go to New York. That's what they're doing, bro. That's literally
engineers can easily make that happen.
Not make that happen. It's happening, bro. People are buying these machines online, and they're doing that, bro. The cops are finding these unlisted guns.
Unfortunately, when you know how to make it, it's just putting it together. It's like a Lego.
Bro, and all you gotta do is just print it out, 3D.
But he didn't. Hey, if you committed a crime, you didn't get it from Market Bros. We just stating facts that have already been out there. All right.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Banning guns would be
Yeah, they got a lot of threats for
irrelevant.
both extreme left and extreme right for the National Intelligence even back in 2021 assessment for domestic violent extremism for anarchist extremists.
Yeah, it just doesn't make for the left because that would put them right in the hypocrisy lane. Why are you trying to
Not
ban
all left
guns?
believe in guns, bro. You're acting like everyone who's on the left believes that they should ban
But then
guns.
that's
Not
to
a
say
straight
like
line.
everybody on the right believes in guns.
Then you can't you cannot conflate the two. Everybody on the majority of the right side are standing for guns because guns God
And so you're
and
saying the
never
majority of the left are not standing
no
for not
majority of the left
guns?
are standing for no guns, but there are people on the left, a good majority that actually do support guns, aren't just completely because the left side they don't want to ban guns fully. They're not fully all ban guns. They're like more like do guns have laws of who can get guns, who can't get guns. They're more for the laws of getting a not banning guns outright completely. Whereas the right are just like leave guns alone and give them complete freedom for guns.
Wait, so if America bans guns, are you leaving America?
That's an unrealistic possibility in itself because you can't force people to give your guns back.
What do you mean? Australia did that like 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's not going to work in America.
That's facts. We're not Australia.
That's not going to work in America.
I don't know. They're flirting with that idea already.
Hey, I'm knocking on the door and ask for you. Somebody come. I'm gonna deliver you.
It's called the it's called the buyback program.
Ain't nobody buy. Yeah, ain't that about to happen.
Yeah, it's like in Australia they already did it, and it was like, and they've been telling it to America, like, hey, it's been working. What you do is
they could even. I don't even know how many guns they have per capita compared to America because they can have more guns than us.
America's the number one for sure.
But their mindset is not ours. America's mindset is completely different from
Now America is number one because even in England, it's not.
Yeah, because what happened was they had a massive gun shooting, and then they did that buyback thing, and then everybody was just like, yeah, let's give our guns. But they would offer money. They'd like, hey, we'll pay you like 200% the worth of the gun that you paid for.
There wasn't their gun laws and stuff. The gun wasn't part of their constitution. Like wasn't part of their entire makeup of their entire country's being. It's completely different.
That's facts.
The mindset here, like guns is right next to God for a lot of these people. Okay, if you're gonna give up God, like nah, it's not the same. The place it takes in the mental mind for a lot of Americans is completely different.
So that's why you think that they're like, hey, listen, the second most important thing in being an American is you can have a gun.
Exactly. Yes.
And the first one, you can say whatever you want.
That's one of the three main tenets. It's the flag, the gun, and God, man. What you talking about?
No, first you gotta have the W pass, then you could have the gun.
3 G's.
Like, what? Like,
yeah. That's tough though, because you know at some point civil war will be a reality if everything keeps going. If nobody's refereeing, like if there's nobody refereeing, it's either left or right. That means people have to be swayed or bought, or you have to create the system that is going to benefit one party over the other, because they keep trying to do 3 or 4 or 5th party libertarian or green teas, and I don't think those other additional parties work. Just keeping it real. But then having the only two options be like what kind of poison do you want to die with? It's like, oof. Like, I don't want to die to poison. Like, why not just give me medicine?
Hey, here's a quote though. Too much medicine can be considered poisonous.
That's true. And so most people have to make a decision. Like, what's the poison you're willing to die with?
Don't ask me who the quote's from.
Because if you're not willing to follow these rules, then what other nations have these kind of freedoms of speeches and gun carrying? Because most nations that allow gun carrying, you might not have the freedom to speak your will.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. We're slowly eliminating our freedoms one at a time.
It's because for God, glory in America. And guns, baby.
Fam, what man, bro? Nah, the feast came to him in a dream. Was like, please don't let him take me out. Let me be born.
Papa? A lot of people,
Papa.
A lot of people think that the Republicans have that hypocrisy because they'll have the guns that'll take a life, but then they'll create the rules that'll bring the life, but they won't create programs that will give them ability to sustain the life.
Nah, bro. Once you're born, you're on your own, fam.
My question is, when they fucking their little secretary,
they gotta fight for those who can't defend themselves. Once you're born, man, good luck.
No, hold up. When they fucking their little secretary, do they take them to the next state to get an abortion, or do they got like their own specialist to be like, yo, just go to the back and
Hold on. Rules don't apply to money.
That's true. That's why I'm asking though, because
you got the money to do that. What you talking about rules, huh?
I mean, you can have your own lab. That's true. That's very true. Just bring their doctor over. That's very true. Personal
Yeah,
doctor.
your private medical care guy.
Well, I hope they don't lock doctors up for this.
No, they will. But that's what the insurance is there for. That's why it's like if money can resolve the issue,
How is insurance gonna get you out of jail?
no, because it depends on what is going to be the charges. If the charges are on a criminal matter, like you violated the charge, then depending on how they set the person, like they can say you, the doctor, but they can also say the doctor, which is the actual piece of paper, because it has its own entity. It's separate than the actual doctor who has a social. Like there's so many ways that rich people
Nigga,
like
what?
just yeah, they can evade the laws like that. Yeah, when you have your own practice, like you set up an actual entity, an EIN number and whatnot. So your business has its own identity pretty much. So the doctor can say, listen, this actual practice was conducting that godforsaken abortion and whatnot. Like it was this one. It wasn't me. I was just getting paid. This client of mine, this, whatever secretary, famous person secretary or a politician secretary, she got pregnant. Unfortunately, we had to conduct the emergency procedure because her life was at risk. And they're always going to say something like that. Like her life was at risk. We had to do everything and we couldn't save it. And that's why. And it's like, well, now you can't conduct any more operations under this license. That license gets closed, that entity, that EIN gets closed. He just opens up a new one, moves to a different state, brand new. It's the same thing that happened with the George Floyd police officer. Like he changed his location and whatnot, but then they were like, "Nah, bro, you did that. That's you. You got to come back and face your trial. What you trying to do?" Like a lot of cops, they get away like that because they get a brand new identity, go to a brand new state. They're under a different person's name, or they just get quote unquote transferred. So they're gonna be very easy. Money talks, bro. If you have the capital and the
Just
power,
thinking about it gets me mad, bro.
What new industries are going to come out from them banning abortion?
ooh,
Because commercial is always there to capitalize on changes.
man, are you talking like about the Airbnb of abortions, bro?
Or the Uber of abortions.
Bro, oh my god, yeah.
The underground open source applications on Google Play, bro, where you don't have to get vetted on Apple. You're gonna have thousands of applications just on that.
It could be Tinder, but girls just applying for like rides. Take me to the next state. I need a ride. Are you safe? Are you black? What kind of car you got? You know you got to ride in luxury. You make jokes. I like jokes. Keep me entertained. You never know, bro. You never know. The next Uber slash Tinder of pregnancy.
Hey man, hey, home birth's about to become way more popular.
Wow, that is actually so true.
Don't got them on record.
Oof.
Wow,
Oof.
that is so
Man,
true.
somebody could teach me how to have
That's
home
low key
births.
scary to hear though.
Or even hire or nurse about to make some pocket money coming home and have
No, the housewives, not the housewives. What's that industry? The ones that deliver from the house.
midwives.
Midwives, bro. Those are about to be popping. And there are a lot of those that are Republican based in like Republican areas because they push for that. Because it's not that hard, supposedly, to deliver a birth
Because
at
they
the
like
house.
that 1960s living.
Just like imagine not being able to abort though. Like a lot of the children that have deformities and stuff because they can have them early and stuff like that. And now you got to take care of your deformed child for with money you probably don't even have for all the special needs they'll need. Like that's gonna be crazy too. There's gonna be a lot of special needs kids that are gonna be born that wouldn't have had to be born and suffer in the world too.
What if I'm terminally ill? I'm dying in 6 months. I get 6 girls pregnant. That's it.
Oh my
That's
lord.
it. That's it. I'm on like child support until I die. Like what the fuck?
Fam, what? No cap.
Wow, that's tough. That's a tough situation to be in, whether you're a man or a woman, because now you have to contemplate like your whole like that might be a felony to travel outside your state in order to get that. Like, who knows what kind of repercussions they're gonna put in place to try to avoid that.
They're gonna have to have like a visa check, but for state traveling, like what?
Or like bringing drugs in, because that's essentially a product.
Nah, they eventually just gotta chip us, man. They just gotta put a chip in everybody. Like, damn, you're showing signs of pregnancy, but now you're not. What happened, bro?
Bro, that's how what I was thinking with the COVID, with COVID, and them actually requiring the
now they're
vaccine
gonna be able to check
mandates.
it. They're gonna activate them. Don't worry about it.
How you know you're not chipped?
bro. Like I was just looking at this thing that Microsoft was doing about AIs reading your emotions based off of your face.
How do you know
Like,
you're
oh,
not chipped?
we see that you're showing signs of morning sickness on your face. It's like, what? No, I'm not. It's like, yes, your cheeks are inflated by 30%. You have certain eyes, your pupils are dilated or whatever they use to recognize. It's
May
like,
I ask you a
are you?
question?
Mm.
Are you surprised?
No, it's always been a matter
Bro,
of
they've
time.
been checking our pulse and face ID for the past 8 years. I'm sure they've been creating this technology before.
Eagle eye,
You feel me? Like,
they've been showing us. It ain't nothing new. But it is kind of surprising that it's like they're just blatant about it.
it's because the Matrix is coming to an end. The firmament is
The
breaking.
government probably enjoyed Edward Snowden at the end of the day because it showed them how much people don't care. So they were like, "Oh, we don't have to put them in budget to hiding this shit anymore. We can put more budget in just spying on them. They don't care anyway. We gotta hide it. We watch it
Yo, I
right in
never
front of us.
thought about that.
They probably Edward Snowden probably saved them someone money and gave them a new way to do it. They're like, "Hey, they ain't even watching anyway. We can just do it however we want to. They don't care."
Yo,
Nah, I don't think
I
they do
never
it because
thought
they don't
about it like
watch it.
that.
I think they do it because they're like, these niggas is stupid as hell. They can't even tell what I'm throwing out there. Look, they so stupid. They looking at the blue ball. Look, they stupid. Look, they stupid.
No, because you raise a valid point. Because he was featured on like CNN, and he had like a whole 1 hour interview when he was like in Moscow back like 2 or 3 years ago. And I was like, wow, if the government actually cared, wouldn't they like call CNN and be like, shut this right down? Like right now, you need to shut this down.
Yeah, the biggest trojan would be that they let them do that so they could find out the public's opinion.
Yeah, because then it's like, wait, wouldn't he be like a double agent pretty much? Like he's doing it specifically as a way to gauge, like, hey, the public doesn't actually care about this.
Even if he's not a double agent, they definitely use him to their benefit, like smart minds would do. Even if he's true to himself and the reason why he's doing what he's doing, they definitely benefited from him doing that so that they can read the public and see how the public respond to that. And once they realized the public didn't care that much and actually didn't do anything about it, all they did was expand and increase it exponentially.
Because his life didn't really change that much. He just can't come back per se. But it's like very different than Julian Assange, who he's about to lose his life if he comes to America.
If he comes, America's better drag his ass over here.
Yeah, they turned that man over. I mean, he already getting tortured over there where he was at in UK, so it only changes with the location and probably the torture style.
Torture method, torture people, and then the end goal.
I don't care. I don't care about his race or whatever. Free that man, bro. He was not getting paid no millions for that shit.
Man, he learned that the masses are just the masses. They're wasting the time trying to do all that stuff for him. You only help the small amount of people actually can critically think and pay attention, understand what's going on. The rest of them are too busy with Facebook and Showtime and HBO to care. Like, it wasn't worth it. Showing them what going on. It wasn't worth it. There's too much noise. It wasn't worth it. No one's gonna do anything. Only the few who actually noticed and really took it in.
Did he expect for people to change?
I don't know what main reason were for, but it wasn't worth what he's gonna go through unless it was just to have people understand it exists. I guess to have real evidence of what's going on behind the scene with the government. But everyone just looked over and moved on, just like the Uvalde shooting. It's pretty much gone in about 2-3 weeks. On to the next thing, which is Roe V Wade now. Like everything's just moving so fast. No one really talking about Uvalde right now.
Nah, just that the building is getting redone.
Like it's like crazy. 1921 kid died. Now we just moved on to the next thing, which rightly so. Like abortion, the next big thing. I mean, like it's crazy how many big things just moved on to the next thing.
Like it's huge. Like think about it. A gun was used there, and they didn't ban it. They didn't ban the guns. The guns are still okay.
Yeah, because outrage is always moved. You can always move outrage. That's why a good publicist for like the celebrities, they'll be like, "Yo, just lay low for a little bit. Guaranteed, something else is gonna come and distract them, so they can just move out and be fine." That's why Amber Heard, well, unless someone thinking about her, she good. Anybody about to think about that? Too many things going on.
Yeah, there's too many important things like children losing their lives to guns.
That's why good media is just like any media is good media at this point because there's so much media. Just be having your name seen and taking up a little bit of someone's brain space is good enough because they won't even remember the bad thing he did. Most likely, they're just gonna remember why is he there? Unless they do some research, which most people aren't going to do. They're not going to do that, so they're just going to have your name in their head.
So how does it feel to be a part of the so-called media?
I'm not a part of it. I just look from the outside.
What you're in?
No, I'm not in. I'm in with like scuba gear. I can breathe at least.
But with that said, guys, what do you guys have coming up? So, because we know that you guys are working, we took a little break. We took some time to relax. So, what do you guys have cooking up?
Man, I'm working on the back end, getting my life right, getting my health in order so I can live a little bit longer in this world. Then decide when I'm gonna leave America. We'll see about that. Working on some business ideas with the boys. I'm planning on maybe sometime producing some content after I get some shit in order. You know, you're gonna hear from me. We're gonna get podcast into season 2 eventually. You know, that season 2 is like a small boulder. You know what I mean? We rolling it up a hill. It came back down a little bit. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we're gonna get there. Bet. Just
Writing more stories, like he said, working on life, but we gonna get there. We are gonna get there.
yes, we are. We're gonna have the next blog post. Beautiful Maiden. What was it? Was it the Beautiful Maiden?
Yeah, the wrong group of people, fam.
It was the. You got me on the spot, bro. I can't remember the exact name. It's something around that, but give me 2 seconds.
I got you. I'll give us some. So, what did the fetus say when it was about to be aborted?
Oh no!
Oh my god!
What?
What did it
Abort
say?
me not.
Oh my lord!
Alrighty.
Hey,
That's a
and
thumbnail,
then
guys.
let it get born.
All right, it's called The Beautiful Maiden Deity Whose Breath Whispered Onto the Earth Part 2. It's going to be your longest, I think, story on the website, actually. Like almost 5,000 words, half of my book.
Coming on with that increased word count, baby.
We're getting there. We're doing a little bit at a time. Of course, Nico Penguin. I'm always trying to do blog posts, social media, trying to work my tail off. We joined a couple of business groups. So we're going to start actually providing more than just content on Argue Bros, but we will be providing solutions for businesses as well as for individuals who just want to improve their life. Other than that, if you liked this episode or if you hated it, please like and comment and subscribe. Let us know what you hated. If you like that tacky joke that Fred just did, or if you didn't. Other
And
than
don't
that,
abort the
Argue Bros.
episode.
Argue Bros, we out. You wild.
You've been listening to Argue Bros. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and leave us a review to let us know what you think. Keep listening and we'll catch up with you next week.